Cindy! I am so proud of you. She's making big leaps this new coming year. I feel it. This is awesome, girl. I'm so proud of you. So, how are you?
Well, I'm doing much better today.
Yes. So tell me about what you observed over like the course of a few days. Kind of explain what you observed in the process that you're moving through.
Well, my goal for this particular holiday season was not to like go crazy insane and spend too much money and try to do too much. And I will say that I did better than I normally have.
Yeah.
But as time I got into the time crunch, I panicked, and then I kind of went back into my old pattern a little bit.
Where you started to affirm, were you in your mind affirming there's not enough time, there's not enough time?
Yes, and like I'm not spending enough money.
So the guilt started coming in. I should be spending more money.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting how deeply we're programmed into that stuff? Or how much it's programmed in us, I should say.
Yes, very much so. And it's so stupid.
What's that?
I think it's so stupid. The guilt piece just feels so stupid. It's like, the cheapest gifts always end up being like the most entertaining and the most fun to the kids. It's not how much you spend. It's the thought and stuff behind it. But I always forget that, and then I panic. And
yes. So if we process that, if you explore in deeper, what do you feel that that's connected with? Like, if you don't give them a valuable enough gift, what does that say about Cindy? Like, what is it you're processing in regards to that?
Probably that I'm not valuable enough as a person, or I don't feel that I am, and so I have to give these things to receive love.
Good awareness, love.
Boy.
Exactly. And so we start going into that inner child part where it's like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not lovable enough. So what do I have to do so that I'll be worthy of the love? So I have to go do these external things. And that's beautiful that you catch that, because as we catch that every time, we start to kind of dissolve the strength of that monster inside that tells us that we need to do all these things. So just you having the awareness and catching that is so huge. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And you're so worthy. You're so enough.
Thank you.
You're starting to trust me on this.
Uh-oh.
I am. When I catch myself kind of going into that pattern, I try to, catch it.
Good girl. It's interesting because I've had some things like in my relationships where, let's say you're with your beloved and something happens and you kind of get your feelings hurt or something, you take something personally and you can go with that, and like sometimes the inner dialogue will be telling you like, oh, you suck, you're not enough for them, or they don't love you, or whatever the voice says. And then you really have to be so swift about catching it and be like, what? And so like if I catch that, just like what we're processing with you, if you catch that, you can just be like, whatever, be quiet, like I'm awesome. Like, of course people love me, and the ones who are meant to be here are going to love me. I'm freaking cool, so shut it. And so we can kind of have that playful interaction, and eventually that voice inside that tells us we suck and we're unlovable and we're not enough, the voice gets more faint and faint and faint until it dissolves away, because we're now only listening to higher self, and higher self is like, you're beautiful, you're infinite love, you are love, you're your highest awareness and consciousness. Wonderful. You are completely worthy. And in the beginning, that voice were like, oh, you're full of crap. What are you talking about? I've been told otherwise. Trust me. And so it's like we have this conflict within. But as we get to be really focused on that awareness, like Cindy has learned to do, which Cindy and I have been working together. She's been mentoring with me for almost like past year. And huge changes in this woman. I have to celebrate that with you, Cindy, because huge changes and more courage and confidence to leap in directions that feel right to her soul. So this work, this inner work, it really helps us and it really matters because like we have all these New Year's resolutions that everyone's going to start talking about in a couple days. And the trick is that the ones that are going to actually achieve their goals and they're going to have a great life and they're going to enjoy their life, they're going to stay in the infinite now. They're going to put out their rockets of desire of what they like to have happen, but they're going to stay present. They're going to use their practical approaches of taking aligned action, lots of meditation and beingness, energetically and vibrationally aligning with their desires. And then they're going to move forward towards them. And it's a process. It's like this, slow moving, well, not always slow. I shouldn't say slow because sometimes it can be really fast, but it's a process. And so we got to get away from that tendency to, think that all of our worth is in what we have or how much money we spent or how many people like us, but realize that we're healing deeper wounds as humanity. We're healing this deep, I'm not enough wound. And that's like Cindy's got it, and I've got that. Everyone, Amnon at some level has got it. We've all got this, but as we look into it and we can see that it's there, we can start to heal it, and we realize we're already healed and whole in truth. But many of us are operating from like our unconscious behavior, the cellular patterns of abuse and abandonment and manipulations and things that have happened to us that have caused us to feel afraid to be authentically us. And that takes a lot of courage. So I'm really proud of you, Cindy, for all you've moved through and that you called today. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling today? Like now that you observed that and you saw that you processed that, maybe I didn't need to panic and think I have to go buy all these things. Like, now, where are you today with that?
Well, I kind of woke up and the sun was shining and I said, okay, well, today's going to be a better day and I'm not going to go into like a downward spiral. Because that's no fun.
No.
And yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah. I thought, well, I'll just consider yesterday as kind of a reflective day and time to also just rest and relax and be aware, and now I get to move on and move forward from it.
Yes, perfect. And you move forward wiser, more awake, more aware, and that's something to celebrate, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And I'm telling you, I really feel like one of the most challenging times, we celebrate it in movies and make it all glamorous and romanticize holidays, but from what I observe, holidays are one of the biggest ass-kicking times for humans. It's like there's so much expectation put on this perfect Christmas and this perfect Thanksgiving and what that means and how the family should behave and what we should be and will they love us because we haven't seen them for so long, and we go back into these little games and we start acting like the little granddaughter again instead of our empowered self. And I feel like it's an amazing time of year for shape-shifting and for holographic leaping if we're very, very courageous to stay wide awake. But if we forget to walk in with our complete clarity and with our eyes wide open, we can not even know what hit us. And suddenly we're back in our childhood drama, right? Yeah. It's a great test to see how far you've really evolved spiritually.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. And so did you end up having a great Christmas though, even though there was some of those tests that you had to see in yourself? Did you end up having a great Christmas?
I did actually, and I had a great Christmas with family, and I also made sure to spend enough time alone and kind of recognizing the holiday and being spiritual. And I had a really good moment of donating some money to somebody who really needed it last minute. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity to be able to do that. And that really, that felt so great. That was awesome.
Yeah, so when you really give from your heart's inspiration instead of give from guilt and obligation. Little bit different feeling.
Yes, there was.
So that's awesome. And that's cool that you had that contrast to see guilt and obligation giving. Oh, inspired, heartfelt giving. That feels different. And we're learning every day, that's where I feel like we really should dwell, is in that space that you were in. It doesn't mean we have to go give all of our stuff away, but it's when you really feel that a moment comes that touches your heart into giving, and you can, and you do it from love, it's the most amazing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It felt so awesome. I teared up, I think, and I just thought, what an amazing opportunity.
That's beautiful. I'm so grateful that you listened to that and that you honored that, because that's how I feel. That's how we become the earth angels in action that we are, is when we actually heed the call. We hear calling and we know we can answer that calling and we can assist in whatever way it is. And that's how we become angels for each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were an angel. I should ring a bell and then you'll get your wings. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a card that I drew for you. Are you open to a card?
Wait.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah. What is the name known?
Karma in the chat is saying, I always heard that Christmas is the most stressful time of the year. I never experienced it. The last 2 Christmases are the worst of my life because of family problems. So keep her in your thought too.
What's her name? Karma?
Karma.
Excuse me.
Easy now. You take a drink.
Yeah, I'm just so dry because I took an allergy pill to help me decongest. So anyway, fun times. So sending love to Karma and lots of angels with you, Karma. Remember that. And sometimes when we go through these hard times, they can feel really challenging and kind of cause us to temporarily lose our focus upon love and gratitude and all the good in the world. But these are times, in my journey, some of the hardest times, especially at holidays, were such amazing opportunities for awakening and shifting in my own consciousness, going to a higher holographic reality. Sometimes we can sit back and we can observe and just be at the family function and just observe all the cray-cray, sometimes energy is just crazy when you're in a big family setting and there's a lot of people, and you can sit back and observe it, but it can be such a great tool. I am getting ready to lead this new mentorship coming up January 16th for the next 6 months, empowering the empath, and I've led many of them. And it's helping empaths move from a place of learning empath where they're just, absorbing all the energy, they're letting everything affect them, they're taking things personally, they're people pleasing, they're trying to get everyone to, think they're enough, learning empath. And as we move through these stages to stepping into our embodiment of an empowered empath, this is a different way of living where you can be in that same movie with your family. And it's like a movie. You're sitting back and you're observing it, but you're not absorbing it. And if it doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel aligned and it doesn't feel high in vibration like love and beauty and honor, you have permission to take a holographic leap out of that movie. And this is something that I know is going to challenge certain people because we're so conditioned and trained that we have to stay attached to these humans that we came into the world with, the blood family, the tribe, the gang, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes a soul is ready to expand beyond that tribe And that tribe is actually enslaving and suffocating the expansion of that soul. And so this is where the